What's happening, people? Welcome back to another season episode of Red Divided. Myself, Tommy.
You got Ade here.
And you got your boy Ham back for another season. I've lost count. I don't know if it's season 3 or 4. I don't know if it's season 3 or 4.
I think it's 4, but it's slightly 3 because
No, it's either 3 or 4.
no,
It's
but
not
you know
slightly.
why?
yeah.
Because we did like 2 seasons during COVID times,
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
still 4.
so it's 4 then. So
And then it's
4.
our second one in the studio.
Yeah. So
We're confusing you with the mask because we're confused ourselves.
All it is progress.
But all it is that we're back.
Yeah,
We're back. The Premier League is back, and we're back.
cool. Firstly, this is a new season, so we want to be strict on this. So please, if you can subscribe, comment, like, share this with friends and family. We want to try and push on this season. We've been making steady progress, right? So from Zoom,
Tom's been nice. Subscribe or don't watch us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are taking a mic.
I know. Listen to Tom when he said friends and family. Send it to your enemy
Send
as
it
well.
to everyone.
Yeah, send it to everyone
Let them
as
be
well.
angry that you send it to them.
Yeah. What is
Sam-
this that you sent me?
Bruh, certain man don't watch football. Getting sponsorships from TNT Sports. You get me? They don't
No
know
names.
nothing.
No
know
names.
nothing about football. So please,
Yeah,
please
nah.
pass out there.
yeah. So please subscribe and hopefully we keep providing better content for you this season and more football talk.
Yeah.
What's summer saying, boys? How's summer so far? Because summer's not over.
Well, summer in the UK has been shit, but summer in Vegas was good.
I was jealous, you know. I was jealous.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like there's been a summer in the UK though.
No, we had one or 2 days back
Yeah.
in May.
Yeah,
That was warm.
I don't feel like there's been a summer, but yeah, summer in Vegas was good. That was good. I feel like I brought a bit of that sun back because I feel like this week the weather's been
Manageable.
it's been okay. Yeah.
Cool. Nah, obviously you went to Crawford and
Spence, yeah.
Spence. Nice Vegas. Me and Adi just got back from Malta, so that's our summer done. Are you traveling? You're not traveling again, Adi, are you?
I hope not. I need to keep money in my pocket.
Yeah, I'm away again in about 5 to 6 weeks. Yeah.
Where you off to?
States again, Dallas. Remember I told
Oh,
you I
yeah,
went to
yeah,
Dallas.
yeah.
Yeah, going Dallas.
You said.
Yeah, I'm going to go see Spence and cheer him up. Take him out for a drink.
Don't
Tell
let
him.
him beat you.
I'm whispering in his ear, say, we don't want that rematch.
We don't want it. Factually, don't.
Yeah. Cool. Let's just get straight into what we'll do. Obviously, the first round of games has gone already. We go into the summer transfer. See how happy or unhappy we are in regards to like the transfer so far. Where should we start? We should start with your boys anyway because you played first. You made some good signings. So
Yeah, defo.
what your thoughts? Just go like who was the first one?
I think we got Havertz over the line first.
Yeah, that was the first one. Just go through it like one by one and what your thoughts on each signing.
No, just keeping it brief. I thought Havertz was out the blue. That's definitely not something I was expecting. I definitely wanted the 8, but I was pissed when Liverpool got McAllister in it because that's who I wanted. It. Like me personally, I wanted a functional 8 that can help out defensively, bear quality on the ball, technique, and also can chip in on the other end. And I thought McAllister was brilliant at that last season. Where I think Havertz is a way more offensive. So in my mind, and probably you guys will say the same thing for your team as well. We'll come on to United in a second. But in my mind, when we did get Havertz, lovely signing. I like the player, loved him from Leverkusen. Obviously, we've spoken about him when he was at Leverkusen. But my thing was just how does it work with him, Partey or Rice, because he was linked with Rice all summer, and then Odegaard. And it's a bit like when you look at United, how does Casemiro, Mount, and Fernandes work as a free? Because the two of them are very, very offensive, whereas I wanted a bit more balance in our midfield. But I wasn't going to knock Havertz because I thought it was a good sign and he can play in multiple positions. Declan Rice, well, obviously that's you can see the smile on my face already. Like I think Saturday was the first time where I didn't pinch myself to say, right, he actually plays for you, like that's actually my player. So I was definitely happy about Declan. I didn't care about the money. It's not my dad's money. It's not my money. They could have asked for 200 million. I didn't give a flying F, bro. He's definitely not worth 100 million. So I just want to get that out there. I know people can say, but Ham, do you think he's worth? No, I don't think he's worth that. I've probably seen Declan play at least 10 times, and every time I watch him play, I think top player, but he ain't worth 100 million. He don't do enough to say he's 100 million. But I'm happy with the signing. Does he make us better? 110% and whatnot. And I think he's a better player than Granit Xhaka. So if my manager was able to get that production out of Granit, and Declan's 24, 5 years younger than Granit, and I believe that Declan can do more, then if he does want to play him in that 8 role, I think Declan will excel in that role. And if he wants to play him in the 6, then that's his position, and he's one of the best in Europe at that position. So I think we've got a highly functional player. And then Timber, once again, when we got him, I was just smiling because because with Timber, he's a purist, innit? He's my type of footballer that can just play football. You know, like I always say, there's certain man that can play football, and there's certain man that, you know what I'm saying? And for me, he's just a purist, so he can play centre back, right back, left back. And I was happy we got him because to somewhere you lot got Martinez, we wanted Martinez, innit? I don't know, we both went for him. And then you guys wanted Martinez and Timber.
We wanted Timber before that. So
from my reckoning, my understanding is you want, obviously, Ten Hag's come and wanted both, but Ajax were not prepared to let both of them go in the same window. So it was like, you can take one. Obviously, guys, you took Martinez. So when we got Timber, I was super happy with him. And then obviously the news that broke the other day that he's going to be out for 6 to 7 months is crushing still, because
your medical team was poor on that, though.
They let him come back out.
Yeah, they were poor on that. I could have told you watching TV that something was wrong with his knee.
I think something was wrong, but I think we've all played football, and I think he might have said, let me see. And they've probably given him the okay because they haven't seen enough to say, okay, he looks really, really bad.
Yeah, especially when he touched where he touched.
And to be fair, they took him off pretty much after like 5 minutes because he was.
Because you just don't risk those injuries, ACLs especially.
100%. But it's devastating for me because he's out of the 3, he's looked the best. He's looked the best out of all 3 of them in the pre-season and the games, the Community Shield. He's looked the best. So to have him out for 6 to 7 months is crushing. But wish him all the best on the speedy recovery.
Yeah, that was my initial thought as well with what Ade said. I just thought, why not take him off straight away? But like as you said, look, they probably asked him how you feeling, and he probably said, "Oh, let me just," because it was. And I think what probably changed their mind is because it was right at the end of the first half. So they're probably thinking, let's go into the change room.
I mean, they got him in at half time. Yeah, they would have looked him for 15 minutes.
Yeah. But it was where he touched, because obviously I've had my fair share of knee injuries. But it was where he touched as he was walking off. I was like, that's a knee injury. Because commentator was like, I hope it's not his calf. But I knew that was a knee injury. And with those knee injuries, you literally can't even risk it, especially if you've got other players.
So it's devastating. It's devastating though. It's devastating because most Arsenal fans will agree in unison that he's looked the best out of all 3 of them. Kai hasn't. But it's only 1 league game, so I'm never gonna get onto his back. And
I thought Kai played well.
I'm gonna give Kai the whole season. I'm just saying, if you look at like Twitter and you talk in Arsenal groups and whatnot, it's just like, oh, why do we pay that? And what is he gonna play? And what's he doing? I ain't got a problem with him. I'm not gonna say nothing on him for the whole year.
I think everyone was surprised, right? It being you didn't expect that move. I didn't expect that move. And especially, it depends on how you use him. It depends on what the manager uses him for.
But I think that's why, for me personally, it's a brilliant signing. It's like when we got Trossard in January. We can literally use Trossard on the 8 as a false 9 on the left. You can do exactly the same thing with Havertz. And now you've got 2 players that you can do that with in the league and in the Champions League. And that's invaluable, having different options. Like both of them could not. Both of them, if we were to play certain games, will come off the bench in certain games. There's not many teams in Europe that's going to be able to take.
You got more depth.
Exactly.
You got more depth. It's important. Champions League is important.
No, I think I'm happy with all 3, and obviously David Raya, who's just come in, he's a number 1, coming 100%. In as a number 2. So I ain't got no problems with that either. And I think it's a massive coup the fact that Tottenham was willing to pay 40 for him. No, thank you. And we've only going for 3 million on a loan with the obligation to pay 27 to buy him.
But that I find that odd though, because why would they reject Spurs' 40? Maybe Spurs never bid.
Maybe they didn't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because that was just I find that odd because they've been holding out for 40 because even Bayern.
Because even if they did, remember the player can reject. So the player, because I know the players said obviously Arsenal is who he wants to go to. He's always wanted to play for Arsenal and whatnot. So maybe he was holding out. Maybe he had a conversation with Arteta. Who knows? But for him to not go to Tottenham, for him to not go to Bayern, and then want to come to us, knowing there's no guarantee that he's going to start. Because me personally, when it was first announced, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of pissed because Ramsdale's won me over, innit? So I want Ramsdale to be the number 1. I don't need somebody to kind of rock the boat. But on the flip side, when I look at the manager, he does need someone to rock the boat because he needs to keep Ramsdale on his toes. And I'm not gonna go bring a Matt Turner or a Matt Ryan that we had before, who Ramsdale knows I'm starting 7 days out of 7. Now he sees Raya in training and he thinks, I might not start the Champions League game on Wednesday.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and that needs to go around the whole squad.
Let's just move on to United. Ade, let's start with like our signing. What are your thoughts? We'll start with Mason Mount.
Mason Mount. So obviously, I think I've said it on the pod a few times. I've always liked Mount since his time at Vitesse Arnhem. Obviously, went to Derby, then went to Chelsea, and was a big player for Chelsea, especially under Tuchel. I'm not happy with how
won the Champions League, played well that.
Yeah, played very well. So
season.
obviously, he's got the ability. He's a big game player as well, but I don't really like how last season went. Obviously, number of factors, contract, maybe a dip in form, but I feel as if he sort of started the season the way he ended last season. So not the brightest start. He is putting himself in positions and all of that pre-season, not necessarily finishing them. But yeah, prospects. I've got hope for him, and yeah, see what he does.
For me, in terms of Mount, I just feel the first and foremost, I just think he's better than what we already had. Which I know you're going to say.
I mean, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard.
But yeah,
Fred and McTominay played.
And I think every transfer window, that's what we got to aim for, to make sure we get better players than we already have. And with Mount, in terms of his attributes, I think he's just good in all departments. He's not exceptional in any department, but it will work. He's functional, and I'm happy to try out that free midfield for now, with him, Casemiro, and Fernandes. See how it works out. We'll talk about our first game in a bit, but I know it wasn't great in the first game. It was horrible.
What?
Horrible was probably an understatement.
We don't even need to talk about it.
But it's important that the manager does make change when needed. I don't care who it is. I don't care who he takes out of three of them. But whatever change he feels as necessary at the time, if it's not working, then we just got to make that change, because what happened on Monday just can't continue. Full stop. But in terms of Mount, I like the signing. We'll see how it works out. The only thing with that signing for me is that we're not there yet. But I think with a lot of our signings, I thought it's very important to maintain what we had last season. And I know sometimes at fans we can get hopeful and start looking for stuff, trying to aim for title when we're not there yet. But I think what's more important, I know City might not be as great. We'll talk about that during the course.
I've spoken to some deluded United fans over the last couple of days.
You go for the title.
But for that kind of signing, and I think it will help us maintain what we had last year. And I think that's what's more important, maintaining, not going backwards. Because over this is Ten Hag's sophomore season. The senior with Mourinho, his second season was great. What's his other guy?
So Ole
Van Gaal. Their second season went great. So with him, I think what's more important for him is to maintain what we did last season, and I think signing that Mount should help us maintain.
Yeah, it should do. Yeah, theoretically. Yeah,
we'll see anyway. But in terms of him, I'm happy with that signing, and see how that gets on during the course of the season. Next, Onana. Yeah.
Onana.
Yeah, so I guess Onana's a Ten Hag purchase for Ten Hag. I've got no views on him. I can't even lie. I've got zero views on him. Obviously, he's gonna play the football that Ten Hag wants. But outside of that, I think
you don't fancy him. You don't like him at all.
I just think I've got no feeling towards him. He's there to do a job.
Okay, so I'll help you.
I had no issues with De Gea. Right, he made his mistakes. He was great.
You don't think Onana's an upgrade on
the ball? He is on the ball. He is
as a goalkeeper overall. You don't think he's an upgrade on De Gea?
I don't know. I'm not sure of it. Right, because the issue ultimately, the problem is or ultimately what my view is.
Yeah,
he's better with his feet, and that's what Ten Hag wants. So that's 100%. Automatically a win.
Yeah,
right, for our style of play. But I feel we're gonna see some fantastic howlers. If you ever thought De Gea made mistakes, I think he's going to make mistakes as well. So it's just for me, when you're in goal, you just be a goalkeeper. Just do what you need to do. You're not going to excite me too much. As long as you know how to stop a ball from going in the net, I'm not too excited. I don't think I've ever gotten overly excited about a keeper. Cool. So maybe that's just it.
So you don't think getting an Onana pushes the needle for you guys? It'll make you better.
It does, but I have no feeling.
Makes your style of play better.
It will 100% make our style of play better, but it doesn't excite me.
Okay, fair
It
enough.
doesn't excite me.
I feel like I'm forcing you to be
yeah,
excited.
yeah,
about
of course. Like obviously, I know that it contributes to our gameplay, and especially with the way like Fernandez is spraying out the balls to the wingers. If you got a keeper that can do that, even better. Because it takes
100%.
out that millisecond. So absolutely understand, but it just doesn't excite me. I'm not even sure it's really. I've actually recognized that the hair's gone because they didn't say bye to him properly. So maybe that's my problem. But yeah. I hope he does well. Like I've got no beef towards him or anything.
Yeah.
Just see how it goes.
For me,
I think he's gonna be a problem. He looks like a troublemaker.
yeah, but we know he's a troublemaker from like Cameroon and Ajax. He's had issues back there. For me, as you said, look, one. I'm not gonna lie and say I've watched this keeper a lot, but one attribute that I know that he's got that is good with his feet, in terms of his handling, I just do not know. I don't know whether it's gonna be any better than De Gea, but I do not mind De Gea leaving because I've probably washed my hands of De Gea like 2 seasons ago, and there's no point like for a keeper that was getting so much money. There's no point of us renewing his contract. I know he was willing to take a pay cut, but how much is that pay cut really going to be? It's worth trying something new. That's
a new chapter, isn't it?
Yeah, just a new chapter. The guy has been there for how many years? Over 10 years now?
Over 10 years. Since Fergie.
Since Fergie. So it's look, if he kept De Gea and renewed his contract, I wouldn't have been upset. And
As
same
long
time,
as it was under 250,000.
yeah,
Well under.
as long, but at the same time, I'm not upset that he's gone because I said I've washed my hands off him 2 seasons because I thought it was about time for us to get a new keeper. But I'm just not sure about Onana. I know he's very good with his feet. That's all I know about him.
Yeah.
In terms of everything else, only time will tell that. Like, and as Ade say, that's the manager's signing. That's purely the manager's signing, and he's got to prove himself because the manager's got a lot of faith in him to bring him in. Yeah, we just got. And like I said, and I've said that about African players before. I'm very skeptical with their concentration level. Most importantly, like a goalkeeper, like it's very like.
I don't know how I feel about that statement. I don't know
Bro.
how I feel. I don't know how I feel about that statement.
Bro, is like I don't know anyway, but he's got a lot of like. A lot of fans are just on the bandwagon and just getting excited. They don't want to know what type of keeper he is.
No, but that's how a lot of football fans are in general. Like, we'll move on to our striker. But the things I've heard about, and I'm like, none of you've not seen him before. You've heard his name. You've never seen him before at all.
So I just
So it sounds like both of you are giving the Onana signing a 5 out of 10. Like you're very much.
No, I've got no
50-50.
issue.
No, I've got no
I would even
issues.
say 7 or 8.
But I think
You say it's a 7
yeah,
or 8,
but
yeah.
So it's a good sign. I just don't have any emotion or any skin in the
Yeah.
game. It's just like he will improve our football. But thing about me, I like my people. Like once I like a player, I like a player. So I might have like before a player joins United, I might have loved him from time ago. I had no connection with Onana before he came to United. So I'm just like, okay, you see how it goes.
Yeah.
So-
And I think the important thing is the way the manager wants to play, he's going to support that. And that's something that De Gea hasn't been able to do.
Yeah.
So if the manager is serious about
taking us to the next
taking
level,
control,
then-
game,
Okay,
taking us
yeah.
to the next level, he will support that. It's just his handling that I am not sure about. I don't know. Like we saw him coming out for a corner kick.
He's a shot stopper though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll talk
he's a
about
shot
that.
stopper though.
Decent shot. Well, we'll see. As I said,
We don't know. He's like you said in terms of like maybe commanding his box
yeah.
aerially, stuff like that.
I've
might be a
literally got
weakness.
0 negatives for him
well,
right now. It's
Yeah,
just to see.
exactly. And I'm not. That's what I say. This is
Yeah.
not one to say that he's not a good goalkeeper. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. I just haven't seen enough of him for me to comment and say, this is going to be a great keeper. For me,
Yeah.
I'll give him a 6 out of 10 now because the reason why I give him the 6. Normally, I'll be neutral. Is because he has one attribute that will contribute towards the manager's way of playing.
Yeah, and he's excellent on the football.
Yeah, and he's. I mean, no, he's we've seen it. He's
Excellent
excellent
on
on
the
the ball.
ball, yeah.
So we'll see how that works. And I've heard that he's got a massive personality.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
things
And
I've
he's super
heard.
confident.
Yeah,
But you've got to be super confident to play the way he's playing.
Yeah, so we just have to wait and see. At the end of the season, we're gonna have to wait and see how the signing. Obviously,
Yeah.
it might be a hollow season. They might want to give him another season.
Yeah,
but this is
100%.
first
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
But when you're under those Old Trafford lights, there's massive pressure on you, and you just gotta be. And for someone with the personality that say that he has, then maybe he will be able to handle it.
Yeah.
So we just
Yeah,
have to
Who
wait
says
and
no
see.
to a good keeper any day of the week if you had given me Alisson or Ederson, snap your fingers off quick. So if he's definitely of that mold and can hack it in the Premier League, take it all day long.
Yeah.
Cool. And the last one is our striker Ramos. What's the name? Rasmus Højlund. Yeah.
So it's an interesting one, right? So a lot of people that have just been talking to me, people have been telling me we're gonna win the league because of him.
I like that.
Shits and gigs as well. They mentioned him, made him sound like some machine, like Højlund 2.0.
Yeah. 9 goals in 32 games last season,
brother. So obviously you guys know I just keep tabs on everything. If I see a team going on a run, it piques my interest. I do more research. So I think Atalanta were playing in one particular game last season, saw he had scored, did my research, saw he had gone on a run. And I thought, okay, that's quite nice. But ultimately, he's a young boy. Even after that run, he wasn't their first choice striker. So people need to understand, he's nowhere like, he's a prospect.
Yeah. And that's how you guys pay the money for.
You need to understand that Julian Alvarez was banging in multiple more goals than this boy.
Yeah.
And he's back up at City. Right? This boy is at the beginning of his career. He's not Haaland at Dortmund or at Salzburg. He's effectively at the Mulder level.
He's at Haaland at Mulder.
You get me? But people are just, oh my God, I'm just like, you've never seen this boy before.
And the price tag will always pique people's interest. The casual fans will always think,
that's why
I
people
paid
call numbers.
It's them. I paid 75 million for something. This motherfucker better be lit. You can't tell me that he's gonna be the Mulder version. This motherfucker better come to the league and get a minimum of 15 to 20 league goals. That's gonna get me closer to the league.
that price, I'm not gonna lie. I know we are paying for potential, and I see the potential in the boy. I have watched him. I have followed his career. The boy definitely has potential, but he's not the finished article. The price was a lot, but then United are saying, actually, we're taking first dibs on this boy that could potentially be.
Yeah, 100%.
But I still, personally, if it was the money was coming from my pocket, I wouldn't have spent that. But I'm hoping they can train him. He's young. He's hungry, which is important. Martial not hungry. He had 3 courses, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So he's not interested in anything. So I'm happy with the sign. I'm happy we got another striker because I wanted another striker.
They needed a striker.
It's a hungry boy, but I don't want too much pressure on him because
the pressure's gonna come there. Pressure Man United.
Yeah, and people are stupid.
Yeah, the pressure will come.
Literally, they just. I find it very hard to explain to anyone that can justify why they're so excited. Right?
Like I said, I think it can only be, like I said, the price tag is gonna.
It must only be
because if you how much did Man City pay for Alvarez? Someone can check that. Yeah,
20 something.
So when he's coming through, I'm sure City fans are thinking he's got to be the guy and whatnot. If they paid 75 million for him, you're gonna think
Alvarez,
Alvarez,
20 something. I think it's 20 something.
But if you pay 75 million for a striker, and the fact that United almost desperate for a 9, because when I was coming here, when I was driving, I was thinking, when was the last time United had a proper number 9 that bag goals and whatnot? So United fans that go Old Trafford that watch it are probably saying, it's fucking about time we had a number 9 that fucking scored 20 to 25 goals a season, because you're watching Harry Kane and Haaland do it and all these other strikers do it, but not a United player do it. So I think that desperation for a 9 plus the fee raises the expectation. And that's
the thing, because they've never seen it. Because I watched Alvarez when he was in Argentina, and he was a goal scoring machine. So he's already moving to England at a higher level as our boy. So like, I'm not saying he's not gonna bang, but I'm not stupid to say he's a killer when he hasn't been a killer. You get me? So it's one of those situations.
Ten Hag's gonna have to train him.
So for people just be stupid.
Alvarez is around 20-something million.
20-something million.
So I think he says 21 million.
Because he was linked to us. He was linked to us before he actually went to Man City. But
signing out of 10, you'd give it what? Same, about like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm not negative about it. I think the price is a lot, but I also thought the Mount price was a lot. I'm not happy with us just throwing money away. But I'll take a 7. He's got potential. He looks hungry.
Yeah.
I believe he's teachable. So yeah, a 7. A 7.
Yeah. I like the signing, but as Ade said, he's not the finished article, by far the finished article, because I remember messaging Ade. The first time I spotted him was international duties when he was playing for Denmark. And obviously, Ade knows all these boys, so I just messaged him.
Ade's got a problem.
So I was like, who's so and so like plays for
Atalanta, yeah.
checked all his stats.
I have no idea how he got to the front of the queue. They got too many strikers now.
No, all of them were injured.
Zapata, Muriel.
All of them were
they
injured.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of them were injured. He got in,
And
and
then-
then they came back, and he still
Yeah,
he
okay,
had to
cool.
move out. So
Yeah. So I just and I looked at his stats and thinking,
Yeah, no. If you
Yeah.
look at his stats, it's not
was
going
a
to blow.
quick
run.
It's
It
not
was
going
a-
to blow you away.
and then
It
the
was a
thing
quick
is
run.
like what you can tell throughout his career is that people are just taking gambles on him before he's actually
You want to get ahead of the curve.
Before
It's like
he's-
when you're investing in
yeah,
something.
before
You
he's
wanna
been
get
allowed
ahead of
to
the
actually
curve.
develop.
Yeah.
Like, as we said with Haaland when he left, was it Mulder? It went to
Salzburg, yeah.
and then still further developed at Dortmund.
Dortmund, yeah.
and that
with
Mulder
him-
move was after a World Cup, under 20 World Cup, where he scored a shitload of goals.
Yeah, but with this boy, he stayed at Stuttgart. Was it Stuttgart or what's their name? Before he moved to Atlanta for a year.
Who German
Yeah,
team?
yeah.
Yeah.
Stuttgart.
No.
No,
It's Austria team. Is it Austria?
Yeah,
What's they called?
Stuttgart. Yeah, it's
Something
an
like
Austrian
that.
team.
Yeah,
Austria.
yeah.
They stayed there. He stayed there for a year. Moved. Didn't score much goals as well to Atlanta and stayed in Atlanta for a year again. So it was like everyone's basically taking chances, and that's how they bought him for 7 million. They probably think, okay, cool. Man United felt the same. Well, you know what? We don't want to miss the boat. For the value, I know it's a lot of money, but for everyone else that we were linked to, that was the one that made more sense for me. Kane, they didn't want to sell him to us. Osimhen, they wanted to sell him for 150 million.
Mm-hmm.
And Ismail made more sense. Although, yes, it shouldn't have been 72 million, but we're paying for like a prospect.
Yeah.
Ismail's the one that made more sense. The only thing I didn't like about it is because I wanted a sign-in that was going to score 20 goals straight away. I didn't want someone that we're going to have to build up. Our biggest issue is goal scoring. We've took like over the seasons, we do not score enough goals.
And if he does in his first season, I'll give him a big tick.
Yeah.
I'm not praying that he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Get
But
me?
our biggest issue is we don't need someone that is, we're going to build up 10 goals a season. So probably, okay, if he scores more than 10 this season, if he scores, 10, maybe 10 to 15.
10 to
10 to
15.
15
Yeah,
no
yeah.
competition. We'll take it.
It's a
But
decent- it's a
not
decent
enough.
return.
Yeah, it's still not enough. But we have to accept it, and you have to. All fans have to understand that he's not to finish article. So just give him some time, and I'm not even sure. Sometimes if Martial is fit, he will start.
My
that's-
view is that if Martial's fit, Højlund doesn't.
No
start.
chance. I disagree totally.
So I'm not even too sure
Yeah.
about that.
No
I don't
chance.
But
think he is.
Martial's
I don't
never
think he
fit anyway,
starts,
so we'll
yeah.
probably
No
never find
chance.
that out. But
Not leaving my 75 million striker on the bench for Anthony Martial, who's been there for 10 years to start ahead of him.
Yeah.
To do what?
yeah,
To do what?
So
No, but reality.
Now that's the reality because he's just not the finished article. and
Yeah.
I've-
That's
and I've seen
fine.
some
He need game
podcasts
time to
of it.
become the finished
Yeah,
article.
he will get game
And
time.
Martial's had all the game
he
time
will-
in the
he will
world.
not, but he will get more than game time.
Martial's going to be
He will
around
get-
for like 60 minutes in a year, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
He will get, Martial's not exactly a player that will play more than how many games a season, but he will definitely get game time. But I just said the boy is just not finished. But if he just hit the ground running straight away, I'm not going to say no to that. As I said, he'll get a massive tip for me. But
And hopefully the wingers we have allow him to get chances to score because
Yeah.
our guys want to score goals.
yeah,
Yeah,
so like, look, it's our transfer window is good. Just putting everything together.
We've improved the team.
I think the most important thing the team has
Is it enough though? Would you say it's enough? Because I see Culture Cans, big up Culture Cans. I see him say he's not happy
It's
with
not
the
enough.
window.
what is it enough for what?
Not just saying he's not happy. He's not happy with
No,
the
but
the
it depends
three.
what is enough for.
Yeah,
Like
depends
some
on what,
fans
yeah.
are looking
rushing
to
to win
the
the league.
title.
That's not.
If
we're-
you say
we're not-
it's not
we're
for a
taking steps.
title,
Yeah.
is it
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
to compete for the top 4 again? Yes, I mean to get into the top 4 and maintain what we had last season. I think it is. Maybe we still need to. If players are leaving, we need to replace them. But
It's
at
not
the moment,
automatic. Like,
yeah,
I'm not in a rush, so I guess everyone's view is going to be based on their expectation.
Yeah.
My expectation was coming into another season where we can finish in the top 3 and maybe be a bit closer to you guys. It was never to win the league. So as long as we're taking steps in the right direction, then I'm cool. But yeah, I think we can do more though.
and I think our season depends on how many goals we scored. And I've said it. We get into like the 50s, 60s again, we're going to be struggling to get into top 4.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
get into the 70s, then we should be 70s, late 70s. We should be about comfortable with top 4, as long as we don't concede a ridiculous amount of goals, which we haven't done over the last few seasons, you get into the late 80s to the 90s.
That's
then
only us and City.
Yeah, then you're competing for the league. So as I said, depending on how many goals we score, if you don't score enough, we're going to be struggling. If we're in the 50s again or the early 60s again, we're going to be struggling to get into the top 4. We're going to be competing to get into the top 4. You score the 70s and stuff.
Yeah,
then you're pretty much comfortable. You make top 4, and then, as I said, all depending on how many goals we concede. But hopefully, like if we're consistent within our last few seasons,
you should be all right.
We should be fine.
But
so as I said, we are suffering when it comes to goals, and I just don't see us jumping with what we've added, the addition to the team. Maybe add another 5-10 to the team, maybe 10, 15. I just
it's got to be towards the 15 though, isn't it?
Yeah,
you want Mason to get close to 10.
Yeah,
and you want your new boy to get minimum 10.
Yeah,
so that's 20.
So so I just don't think that is enough for what everyone else is looking for. I think that will be enough. Hopefully we never know, and it should be enough for us
to sustain our position at least
in top 4.
In top 4.
Yeah.
It's a bit shaky.
So that's where we're at in terms of the signing. That's what
the Toonami
signing. So I'll give our signing.
Facts.
Give our signing 7 out of 10. But we need to do something about our goal scoring record. Like, if the manager's not looking at it, I'm sure he is, but we have to score.
Definitely.
And I would like to play better football. I would like to control the midfield a bit more. Obviously, I've always said Klopp's been my idol, because I like the way he played football, like Dortmund, the way Liverpool played football. I'm a quick transition type of person. That's the way I view it. But if we're not doing mad quick transition, be able to pass the ball in that midfield, because not that only Fernandes gets the ball, whips it across. Ultimately, when you come and play the big boys, that might not sometimes do you all that well.
You get lost into the whole idea of the manager's philosophy, because in terms of the quick transition, sometimes you feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the ball forward as quick as possible, but they lack so much composure at times. It's unreal, because all they're doing, I'm just basing on Monday's game, they lose the ball straight away. And at the same time, there's no, as much as there's experience head in the middle of the park, no one's sensible enough to think, let's just keep it for 5 minutes first. Because all we've been trying to do is a quick transition, trying to look for one of the wingers or trying to look for a run from Rashford, and we're not getting the ball to them. Just calm down and let's keep the ball.
I don't think we've got... So obviously Fernandes' pass is long-range passing. His short-range passing is actually really bad. So we've got limited short abilities for short-range passes, which
is not good for what your manager wants to do.
You get me? Because sometimes it's not just that one. It might be a case of 1, 2, 3 quick, small passes before you whip it across. But we can't even do that correct. So I would like to see a bit more of that, a bit more control before we do that. It's not just one. More.
Just
pass it.
Players' characteristics, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Players' characteristics, and if that's his game, you almost have to, if that's what your manager wants to play, then you have to accept that whenever he plays, that's how we're gonna play. Until the manager takes him out and puts. I'm not saying Pellistri can do that, but let's just say Pellistri in training does do the 1-2 bounce passes, 1-2-3 passes and whatnot, and then it's out. Then it might have to be that type of player, caliber of player, has to play ahead of that player that you're saying, because he doesn't do what you want to do, which is control the game. That's not Fernandes's. It's not his prototype. That's not what he does.
No, but even if it's him that does the final pass, the two behind him need to be able to do that. And
I think
Fernandes can improve.
Yeah, it's fine
but his short passing is poor as well.
Poor.
But just for us to have the ball more. It's not every time we play you guys that we need to be getting 21% possession.
That's good, man.
Even if our gameplay is not your gameplay.
It's good, man. That's good. I've always looked at, I think United's best way when they're in transition anyway, on the Fergie and stuff like that. I don't think United was let's pass. Control.
Never
I think
been
it was
very
much
Arsenal.
Very much get the balls to the wingers, up, get
but we had a bit more of the ball.
And on counter attack, we're devastating on the counter attack.
Yeah.
Whereas you're not going to get that now with Ten Hag. You might get that in spits and spells, but it's more of a control. And I feel that's where football is going. With most managers want to have more control. So you look at obviously Pep being a prototype, how we play football, how Brighton play football, how Ten Hag wants to play football and whatnot. It's all about having more control, having more domination, having more numbers. You see on Monday, if we transition to the game, you see Luke Shaw trying to be an inverted left back. It looks fucking horrible. But I get what the manager, that's how the manager wants to play, more numbers in the midfield, so we can do what you're saying, so we can have more build up back there before we get to the final phase and whatnot. It looked fucking horrible. Luke Shaw trying to do it because Luke Shaw is a traditional left back flying up and down.
Yeah.
But I get the manager trying things and whatnot. And trying things, and that's probably why.
Let's see if it works and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
But he has to try it to see if it's gonna work.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I just go back to like United back in the day when we beat you guys in Champions League semi-final, and even with like our counter-attack goals, you still get like 4 or 5 people touching it before it gets to the goal.
Yeah.
But now we can't actually do that. Maybe 2 people touch it because if we try for 5 people to touch it, we're gonna lose it.
They're gonna lose the football.
So
Yeah,
it's just like 1, 2, whoosh,
Where's
straight
Marcus?
forward. Whereas actually before there was that intricate passing, Tevez, Berbatov, Ronaldo, Jason Park.
Yeah, actually, I honestly believe we have players to do that to an extent, not the same quality that you might get with the Arsenal or the City. So when we're playing the Arsenal, so it's probably difficult to do that when we're playing the top opposition. But when you're playing teams at the lower end of the table, I think we have.
Like you would expect that to be on show on Monday against
exactly.
Wolves. Most teams would have expected Wolves to get relegated.
This is what, and I think this is where, that's what I said, the maturity and the composure on that day is that everyone that had no common sense on that day. No one just didn't want to come down, settle down. I feel like they feel like, oh shit, like why are they all over us? We need to get a goal or something to try and settle the game. They were just making stupid decisions, and I think the manager said at the end of the game that the decision making was poor. They lack composure. It's all of those things that they just need to like calm down. That I'm sure you guys can pass
100%.
Casemiro can pass to Mount. Mount can pass to whoever and get the ball back to him. Just at least 1 or 2 more before that final important part. But that's what they need. Let's just go into the weekend's game. Might as well just start with United and go into Arsenal. You didn't get to watch the game, either, because you was traveling, right?
I was in the air, but as soon as I landed, obviously, even before it landed, I checked the highlights. And first thing I did was message you. I was like, I think there's something wrong with the highlights.
You know what Sky Sports, the highlights, you know the first 5-6 chances, it was all Wolves.
No, don't say first 5. We only had 1, and that was
a goal. I'm telling you, man. But I was watching it, I just attack Wolves. Attack, hit save by Onana. All saved off the line. All should have been a goal.
Literally 1, and that was the
Then
goal.
it was.
But the worst thing is that when I left these guys in Malta, so obviously we're in Malta and I was telling them that out of every game, it's a United game. I'm not worried about it. We're definitely winning 3 or 4-0. My worry
We're gonna smoke Wolves.
Not winning. My worry is that if we lose win anything less than 3 or 4-0,
You're gonna be disappointed.
I'll be disappointed. So when they landed, I saw 1-0. Then I watched the highlights. I was like,
Our season is doomed.
we're in trouble.
Yeah. Now look, he was in Malta, so I got to the game 10 minutes, I think, left in the first half, and my brother-in-law was watching it before I got there, and when I got there, it was like, oh, you guys are lucky. I was like, what do you mean? Then when I sat down, everything was clear. It didn't have to say any more. It didn't have to say everything was clear. Perfect.
Wolves are good,
clear. And I just didn't understand it. And as I said, all the explanation I was giving earlier in regards to the game, this is exactly what's happening. They were bypassing us, like our first line of press, so easily. And they were just acting like Tom, Dick, and Harry, the 3 guys in the middle. We lost the game. I mean, we didn't lose the game, but we lost control of the game in the middle of the park because there was no cohesion between them 3 from what I was watching.
Yeah,
1 minute Casemiro's ahead of them. All 3 of them just goes. And then, like, all they need to do is 1 or 2. As I said, by the time they go, he's only taking that 1 or 2 passes to get.
You guys are running.
Yeah. And then, the middle of the park was free all game. They was just bringing the ball out as freely as they want.
They need to pass it around. They were just running.
They ran through the middle of the park at least 2 times. Like Cunha ran through at least 2 times. Just straight line.
It was that easy, and obviously, fortunate for us, they're not good at finishing.
The problem they had last year,
that was their issue.
Yeah.
They wasn't finished like.
Because Cunha looked good last season as well. He's very mobile.
Very mobile.
Yeah. They just weren't finishing it, and as long as you don't finish your chance, you leave us in the game because we have the quality to score. We have the quality to create one, even if we don't score it. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm sure that was the only Scored
No, big man said,
in the game.
Yeah.
And then we
Wolves should have left with at minimum a point.
And then we
Minimum.
Scored, and we scored that.
Like 6-1.
Minimum we obviously scored it, and then even straight after we scored, they was on top.
They was on there again.
It was, bro. It was.
I was so happy I didn't watch that match.
It got to the point like we were just hanging on, and then obviously the controversial moment with the penalty.
There was nothing controversial about it. There's nothing controversial.
So when I first saw it,
So,
I thought it was
it's a stone wall penalty.
when I first saw it, I thought it was a pen because I thought he punched him. But then when I watched the replay, that's when I thought it wasn't a pen because the player got to head it before. So my stance on it hasn't changed because my stance is changed in the sense like my stance on why I didn't think it was a pen hasn't changed, but I do understand why it's a pen now. Because the keeper came out with his hand out, he didn't go and punching it, but the player headed it before the keeper even got there. So that's why I thought it wasn't a pen because the player headed it. He had the chance to head the ball before the keeper got there. But then what I didn't take into consideration is the fact that he's cleared them out. Even though when the player, although he didn't like touch, like go punching it, those players potentially, if he's missed the ball, if he didn't clear them out, they will still have an opportunity to tap the ball in the net. So that's what I didn't take into consideration, him clearing them out. So that's now I can understand. But in terms of my stances, because I messaged the group, is when he came out, I thought he came punching them. Then I was thinking, oh, this idiot.
His whole sole aim, I'm taking everybody out. He didn't come for the ball. And he done exactly what was on the tin. He cleared them out.
And he basically cleared them out.
And it was reckless. But you said it was match fixing. You was absolutely right.
It's match fixing to me.
Come on.
But I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad.
But he was, so we got away with that. We got
blatant. And then like this obviously we're not gonna get into, we ain't got time to get into the new rules and whatnot. But then Gary O'Neill gets a yellow card. Gary O'Neill gets a yellow card. And Onana don't get booked. Wolves don't get the penalty. They lose the game. The manager gets a yellow card.
Are you questioning our
and all he gets in the end is a fucking useless apology, and then the officials, the idiot ref and the idiot at VARs don't have to ref this week.
We'll give him a penalty.
What the fuck does that do for Wolves?
We'll give him a penalty next week.
In the first week of the season.
We've already paid for it. We'll give him a penalty next week.
I say it all the time, man. Best league, worst refs, bro.
So like we just got away with it anyway. We got away with one, and let's just hope we learn from it because this time last season, our first game of the season, we got beaten. We're fortunate enough not to get beaten, although we should have been beaten. I even think this performance was like the way they've dealt with us was
because it's Wolves, isn't it? It's the opposition.
As good as Brighton last year. Like with Brighton, at least we had moments in the game against Brighton first game last year. This time around, we should have just lost convincingly. We should have lost convincingly. It should have been at least they should have scored like 3 or 4, whatever.
And that game to me was meant to be like.
Remember Wolves. I was telling Tom on the street, I thought that Lopetegui gone. I didn't know they had replaced him with Gary O'Neill. They only had Gary O'Neill for 4 days. You've had Ten Hag a season, a whole pre-season, and then they come there looking like the side that's had their manager for like 2 years.
Bro, I did all my analysis, and that's why it was 3 or 4-0.
That's literally when we was in Malta. That was our conversation. That with what Wolves have to go through this season, from my knowledge, the only person that brought in is Doherty.
I never let
you
him.
Just lost your
manager, scoring, but let Jimenez go.
You let Neves go,
and Ruben Neves, who's their captain.
Like you've lost like the spine of your team. How the hell?
And they're coming to Old Trafford.
You coming to Old Trafford? And then performing like that.
I can't even explain it.
It was just crazy.
Credit to Gary O'Neill.
Credit to the manager, definitely. We deserved to lose that game, but lucky enough we didn't. So we'll take that. One thing you don't want is to lose in the first game of the season.
You'll take the 3 points.
So we take the 3 points, and then we just move on from that. We'll see what happens next week.
It was definitely a penalty. Scandalous decision.
In terms of like your boys, started off well in the first half. Everything was all good, but just do you want to take us through it in terms of your perspective of the game?
I thought the boys were good, man. I thought the boys were good first game of the season. The first thing that to me was the starting lineup was absolutely fucking shocking. I was fucking shocked. I woke up.
Did you not like it?
No, I woke up. I just see like bare missed calls, bro. I think what the fuck's going on, bro? I woke up like midday, innit? I was tired. I woke up. I just see bare missed calls till I get a FaceTime from my boy. Hey, what's your boy doing? because obviously everyone knows I love Arteta, innit? I've loved him, never wavered, innit? Hey, what's your boy doing? I was like, what's going on, big man? You seen the lineup? No, I ain't even seen it because remember it was 12:30 kicks. I woke up at 12, so it got moved back to an hour, innit? It got moved back to 1 o'clock, innit? So I looked at the lineup, and even I've gone, I can't even defend my man. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Why is Gabriel on the bench? Why is Thomas playing right? Because remember, when we played Forest away last season and lost, remember Thomas started at right back. So Thomas started at right back and we tried to do the whole flood the midfield, invert him because Zinchenko weren't playing and whatnot. And it was, it was horrible.
It didn't work.
So then this guy, I'm thinking, what the fuck, bro? Like, man, we never not play Gabriel and Saliba together when they're both fit. But I was like, okay, just watch the game. We'll see how it goes. And hence why Arteta is my guy. I love him to bits. It absolutely works. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. It made sense that because Gabriel's not the strongest ball player and he wanted another ball player against a team
100.
that's not going to have the football. Nottingham Forest was happy to relinquish the football to us and just stay as deep as possible.
I expected him to duck out. Gabriel to be the one that dropped.
Yeah, so when you're watching it,
just not.
Which is why I love the gaffer, because when you're watching it, saying, I get it, I see what he's trying to work on, and I'm able to see that. Other fans might be, no, that don't make sense, but I'm able to see what he's trying to do, and I thought it was executed to a T. I thought we kept all the ball. If Johnson scores that chance, then it's a whole different game, it's a whole different conversation, because they had the first big chance of the game. But after that, I thought the boys were good, controlled the game, beautiful skill by Martinelli for Eddie to score. I didn't know if Eddie was going to start, to be fair, because I thought he might do the whole Havertz false nine or play Trossard. But I was happy that Eddie started, happy that Eddie got off the mark as well. Saka's goal, there's nothing really to say about that. The boy's a genius. The boy's amazing.
Magic.
I could go on all day to speak about how amazing the boy is. But the goal was beautiful. As soon as he left his foot, you knew it was going in. So the first half was good for me, other than Timber going down with the ACL. Spoke about that earlier. And then the second half was just too slow for me. It's just too slow. I went into third and fourth, and that's not even me being greedy. That's just me watching the Premier League since I was like 4 or 5 years old, and knowing that 2-0 ain't enough. It doesn't matter who you're playing; it's not enough.
Yeah.
And if you're in that much ascendancy, like because at one point it was 89 to 11%. That's how much control we had in the first half. We had 89%, they had 11. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. We got to put their foot on their neck. And the second half, don't give them no life. If we get the third goal, they're out of it. They know they're out of it. If they get the first goal, what happened is what will happen is what happened. They get that goal, and then it's just like, okay, cool, we can get something out of the game.
But it's possible, right? And then the energy comes from nowhere.
Yeah, so I wasn't happy with the first half, but I'm always going to give the boys grace that it's the first game of the season. And we all know what it's like, first game of the season, you've had a preseason, you're not fully fit anyway, and it's still going to take the boys like 4 or 5 games to get fully fit. So I wasn't overly critical. I played football on Monday, and I got people telling me, do you think we missed Xhaka? Like, fam, you tired, bro.
Let's calm down.
No, man,
bro.
that second, bro, it's the first game of the season.
Calm down,
bro.
just breathe, bro.
Yeah. But I thought the boys were good overall. Good performance, good win, and I saw enough there to say that we'll have another good season again this season. I don't see anything that makes us not have a good season other than injuries. But other than that, I think the boys were good. Thomas looked good with Rice. The double. I see every time we get in the ball, him coming inside makes sense. Ben's beautiful because we can play Ben in so many positions. We can play him on the right of a free. We can play him centre back. We can play him right back. Saliba's amazing. And that was that. It was good. It was a good game. The second half was just a bit too slow for me. But I get it because the boys aren't fully fit. And then we move on. I think we've got Palace away. And I think the performance will be better against Palace away because obviously away from home, the expectation will be on Palace to at least give it a go a little bit. You know, Roy Hodgson's team, they're not really want to give it a go, but they're the home side, and I think the performance on Monday should be better.
Cool. We're not going to really go into too much detail in regards to like you guys' game because we just got to go through our predictions. But yeah, there's nothing to talk about anyways. You guys just let, as you said, in terms of like the Premier League, 2-0 is not like the best score.
No sympathy, man. 3-4 is 5.
Don't get me wrong.
No sympathy.
I was definitely cheering that mine when it was 2-1.
Yeah, of course you were.
But yeah, no, it was a good performance, and it didn't really touch like. And I said it before the game, just to touch on like the formation. I wasn't really surprised because I just don't see why you need to play Rice and Thomas Partey if in the middle of the park when you're playing a team like Nottingham Forest.
That's what we done though.
No, but but you overload with like 3 at the back. I'm talking about you playing right, having 4 defenders.
Okay.
So majority of the time he was playing and you was
I know
overloading
what you mean.
him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I meant in terms of like
playing 4 defenders and then playing them 2.
2 anchors and playing them 2. So I just didn't see it. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So obviously in terms of like, so the formation made sense to me straight away because I had a conversation with my brother-in-law previous to the and so I just think he's only gonna play one of them. He doesn't need to play two. But when he did that, put right back, everything just clicked. He's just gonna overload the middle of the park, and you're just gonna dominate the ball, create chances, and score. And that's exactly what happened. So I wasn't really too shocked about that.
And from pre-season, because I think obviously the pod that we was on, I was saying that I think we're gonna play a different formation this year, and I think he will try the three at the back more often than not because he's got pure defenders. Obviously, Timber going down now might change that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, but I think because he's got 3 pure defenders in Timber, White, and Saliba, who are more than comfortable in one-on-ones. All 3 of them are comfortable on the football. You probably see us doing that formation a lot more now than just a one-off occasion. Obviously, if we're playing you guys or City or Liverpool, we'll probably revert back to type. But I think if we are going to have the lion's share 78, because we're coming into that team now, innit? We're becoming that team. You're going to see more games at the Emirates like that. Like teams are literally going to sit up and be like, we'll let them have the football.
Yeah.
Whereas teams will come to other grounds other than us and City and be, we can get something from here by trying to stick to our principles. I think when teams come to us, it'll be like, yeah, we'll just relinquish the football and play at the back. And then there's no point, like T said, there's no point in us having four defenders. Even though we don't, because when Zinchenko plays, Zinchenko's inverted anyway. But it makes sense anyway in terms of overload. And the quality is there to overload. Cool. It's not just overloading for the sake of it.
All right, cool. In terms of like the other games, do you want to touch on it? Because how long have we got?
Yeah, Newcastle, man. Newcastle's battering Aston
Villa. Yeah. In terms of that game, I watched the game first half. I didn't watch so much. I missed the first 15 minutes of the second half. I think I came back when it was 3-1 or something like that. 3-1 or something on that line. But in the first half, it was a tight game for me, to be honest with you. I watched the game and I just thought it was a tight game. It could have been 2-2 or 3-3 in the first half. And that's the type of game it was. So I don't think Villa got blown away. I know the scoreline definitely shows that you think that they're being blown away. They were, in a sense, in the second half. Ultimately, they were. But in the first half,
they were in the game.
Sway me away from like the type of team Villa is gonna be. Like they are still. Like, I think they still have the ability, especially the chances that they were creating against Newcastle, and the way they were creating those chances makes you think, oh, you know what? They are definitely going to be a problem.
Yeah, they're going to have a good season.
But at the same time, they have a massive liability. If that's how they want to play, and I hope they just play like that against us as well. Because if they want to play that high up,
it suits us.
It suits
they are though, isn't it? They are. So most teams are going to play high.
So it's up to them how they want to like continue playing. If they want to continue playing like that.
No, well, they played well though.
They played well, but they just got like, look. I think everyone's always just in doubt about Newcastle whether they're going to go away or not. And one thing that they're constantly showing is that
they're not going nowhere, man.
They're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere, bruv.
So yeah, it will be interesting to see what the season like where they end up at the end of the season. But what you guys thought in the game anyway?
Yeah, and I thought Newcastle were brilliant.
Fire.
Yeah, I thought Newcastle were brilliant. I thought Sandro Tonali looked like he settled in from the jump, like comfortable. And that midfield of Tonali, Bruno, and Joe Linton is going to be beautiful to watch all season. And then you got Isak up top, who I honestly believe is going to get 20 league goals this year. I think he's the one that will run Haaland for the top goal scorer. That's my opinion. Obviously, Salah will always be there or thereabouts, but I think he's one. The only reason why he won't is because Eddie does want to still appease Callum and give Callum. But if Isak or Isaac, however you say his name, was just playing pure 90 minutes a game, simply because for me, he's a number 9 that does all type of finishes. Yeah. So he can hit them from range. He can take players on. He can tap them in. He can head them back post. And he can dink the goalkeeper just like his second goal the other day. So he scores all types of goals. So he's going to be a problem all season if he's fully fit. But they look good. Obviously, we know what they're like defensively in terms of like their back four and the goalkeeper. Obviously, they've just added Livramento as well, who's a very good young player. I don't know if he's going to get much game time because of Kieran Trippier. But I think Newcastle are going to have another solid season still. That signing of Tonali is brilliant. And then being able to bring on Harvey Barnes off the bench for a rejuvenated Anthony Gordon, who I didn't think was that brilliant last season when they got him, but he looked like he had a good summer and whatnot. And now when I saw him play that first, I was like, ooh, he was literally like a different player. Like he was sharp. He was very sharp. And then Harvey Barnes comes to the bench and said, watch this. And you know Harvey, the good thing about Harvey is he can finish. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he can run.
And he's very direct.
Do you know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He can finish and he can run. So if you're playing Newcastle now and you think you've kept them at 0-0 or 1-1 to 70 minutes and they say, watch this. Callum, Harvey, you're both coming on. Whatnot.
And
Joe Willock didn't even play.
Probably start soon.
So yeah, I think they're going to be a problem for everyone this season.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Liverpool, Chelsea, Liverpool, should I say?
yeah.
Well, Chelsea done one over them on the weekend.
Chelsea been bullying them. Chelsea been bullying them, bro.
I didn't really watch the game because I didn't watch so much of the game. What, Ham, do you just want to touch?
Yeah, no, it was good. That was another good game as well. That was another good game. I thought Liverpool started the game off better. They had more control, and obviously when they scored, it wasn't against around the play. Like the goal was good. Good build up as well. The goal was beautiful. The goal was beautiful. Like I said, you won't see a better assist all weekend.
Was disgusting
From Salah to Diaz, and they looked like they had Chelsea number. And Chelsea's problem was they were trying to build up with Conor Gallagher and not Enzo, which didn't make sense to me. So Liverpool was all over them winning the ball back because Conor was not comfortable receiving the ball on the half turn, so he couldn't get out. But once Enzo started getting into the game, because I think he ended up as man of the match.
I saw some.
Once Enzo started getting into the game, Chelsea got back into the game, and then Raheem had a good first half as well. And obviously, the two madmen, the wing backs, they got Reece and Chilwell. Once they started getting into the game more, they literally grabbed the game off Liverpool. Liverpool started better, but Chelsea took it over for like the last 10-15 minutes. Second half, probably should have won the game of the run of play with. Like, I think Jackson had a couple chances, chances, nothing like he should have scored, but he had that. But then Liverpool had a couple of chances as well. So I thought it was a good game, and it was a good. I think for Pochettino, he'd be the happier out of the two. Okay, they didn't win. But what he saw from his first game was enough to say, okay, there's something there. I can work with this. Whereas Liverpool thinking, shit, man, we just be getting bullied on the pitch and off the pitch. Like,
well, let's just quickly touch on that though before we move on. What's your thoughts on because I'll be honest with you, when I was hearing that news, was it from Friday to Saturday? I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Like just it was just pure transfer. And
banter,
banter, it was drama throughout. From was it the 24 hours from Friday to Saturday?
Beautiful.
It was just lovely. But I think we were talking
lovely.
About it,
How much do you want for Lavia Southampton? Okay, we'll add 5p.
So you can't pay. I was baffled about Liverpool's transfer movement was because you can't pay the extra 5 million or whatever for Latvia, and all of a sudden you can go and pay an extra, adds 65 million on top to say, oh, Brighton, we want that guy. I know Chelsea's been messing around.
Yeah. And Brighton said, okay, yeah, you want him. Yeah,
but then you haven't spoke to the player. But I can understand why you just try to blow Chelsea's bid out the window, because you're thinking, if we do go for him, it has to be quick. At least have a word with the player to get understanding of what he wants.
Don't embarrass yourself.
And then on
Don't
top,
embarrash yourself. We booked the medical.
And on top of that, if you spoke to him, you will know that this boy is about money.
He's about money.
He's already spoke about the amount of families his members he needs to feed.
Yeah,
we knew he was about money.
And you're now not going to offer him and as much as Chelsea's offering him. What do you think is going to happen? And then you come back to Southampton. What do you think Latvia is now thinking? Oh, so you guys, you mocked me. And you now come back to think, how come?
You want to come and manage me now. You want to manage.
Yes.
That is banter, man.
Yeah, no, I was loving it. Obviously, we were linked with Lavia as well, innit? But obviously, once Thomas was staying, I was kind of cool on that, innit? I was happy if Thomas is staying, I was kind of cool with Lavia. So obviously, I do want to see where he goes. I don't want him to go to you guys, obviously. That's goes without saying. I don't want him to go play for you guys, because I think he's actually a good young player. But the thing is with both of them is, like you lot said earlier about finished article, teams ain't buying no player as a finished article now. Everyone's buying off potential and what they could be. Like you look at Real Madrid, I don't want to really sidetrack it too much, but you look at Real Madrid buying Camavinga at 17, 18, nowhere near the finished article. But we're going to take a punt that him, Tchouameni, Rodrigo, Vinny, they're going to be, and to be fair, all of them are proven out to be that and whatnot. So to your point about Højlund not being the guy now, he could potentially become the guy, but give him time. So I think Liverpool wanting Lavia would have been, okay, cool. If he goes there, it makes sense because they need a 6, innit? Yeah. So I was happy with, okay, cool. They need a 6. He's going to go there. But I just, like Tisa, I just couldn't understand why this is how much the player is. It's 50M. You've got as close to 46 and said, we can't pay the extra 4. But Brighton are telling you that you're going to have to break the bank. I'm like, yeah, can I say though? And you're saying that, yeah, we can break the bank for him, but we can't pay the extra for my man. And obviously Liverpool's whole thing is scattered because obviously they've let their whole recruitment teams change, innit? Because remember, the man they got in now is only here for the summer. So his job is only here for the summer. Then they're gonna have to recruit a next brother. So their whole transfer committee is in the mud, and you can see it's all playing out to what it is now. And like they say, what happens in the dark will always come to the light. I mean, what they're doing in the background is fucked. Hence why they look fucked in the public eye. Because how can you miss out on 2 targets to the same club?
Yeah. Nah.
And then both of them are now going to play in the midfield with Enzo. So now their midfield is going to look talent-wise. It's the maddest midfield in terms of talent and potential. You got 3 players all under 22 who are all sick.
It's confusing, especially since you've already bought players this season. If you want to make a change to your squad, you have to make the change. You can't be doing bits and pieces. In this day and age.
And to think like you've actually got the money, put the extra 5 million, that transfer would have been done time ago.
And then they tried to come back with more for Lavia.
That would have been done before the season started, because they were started that old talks with Southampton.
And they know that they knew they needed their 6 because they knew they was going to accept the money for Fabinho and Henderson.
Yeah.
And, bro, they had the money.
They had the money.
So the one thing that Casado bid proved is that you had the money.
Yeah. But I think Liverpool have always done stuff of the value of the player. So if they think Ade is 45 million, we're not gonna pay 47 for him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what they're trying to do,
and that's what it was. Whatever their value for Lavia is, they were like, that's what we value him at, and that's what we're willing to pay.
And that's what put them in this.
And that's what put them in this situation.
And at the moment,
now.
like, we'll see at the end of the season where they end up. But the whole transfer strategy is currently in the mud now. Because,
it's jeopardizing their season.
Because it started from last season in terms of like the wage bill. We're not going to pay a certain player over a certain amount. You lost Mane because of that. You're not going to be losing players. Obviously, eventually you kept
Salah,
because you had to break it in order to keep him. But now in terms of like your transfer movement as well, all this we're going to pay for value. There's other clubs lurking in the background.
That's all paying over value.
You know what I mean? That's paying, obviously, like it might not end up well for them at that club.
Yeah, it might not be the smartest thing in the world.
But you might just lose out on a target that you've watched for how long.
Yeah.
And just because you can't pay an extra 4 million or you can't give them an extra 20, 30K a week, someone else is gonna.
Welcome to every Arsenal fan's life between when we moved to the Emirates to now.
Yeah,
that was our life. Oh, we can't buy him. You know why? Because we haven't got an extra 2.5 million to buy him. And that was the story of our life. And Liverpool fans just having to go through that pain and whatnot. That alone could jeopardize them making Champions League this year. Because we're looking at Chelsea not having European football underneath Poch, who loves young players, just like Ade. He like him young. He like him young. And you're saying that he has no Europe, so he can train with them and get them for just Premier League games. He can easily. You're telling me that Chelsea can't finish 5th this season? Of course they can.
Yeah.
And that means Liverpool gonna finish 6th because Liverpool not finishing ahead of Newcastle.
Yeah.
Unless you guys on the drop out or the top 4, then they ain't finishing ahead of you guys either.
Yeah, we haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
We'll see. Segue into our next point, which is our prediction for the season. Has everyone got it ready? Oh,
Yeah.
Cool. Who wants to go first?
Go on, Ade. Alphabetical order.
So I got Arsenal first,
Hey.
City second,
Yeah.
Newcastle, and then hopefully it's United.
Remember, the 5 teams gonna make Champions League.
Oh, we're doing top 5.
Yeah.
I'll give Chelsea 5th.
Potentially, depending on how
we do. Yeah.
I'll
in
give
Champions
Chelsea
League.
5th.
Mine looks exactly the same as that. He's been copying me.
Same. Exactly the same.
Arsenal to win the league, City to come 2nd, Newcastle to come 3rd, United to come 4th, Chelsea to come 5th, Liverpool to get Europa.
I know Liverpool's mess up, but I just still don't think they're gonna mess up. That's just my personal opinion.
So who you got?
So I've got Newcastle missing out.
So you got so go on, just run
I've
through it. So
got, Arsenal,
yeah,
City, United or Liverpool 3rd. I'm not too sure, but I'll say Liverpool. I'll put United 4th, and I'll put Chelsea 5th.
So you got Arsenal,
Yeah,
City,
Liverpool. Yeah,
and then you got United.
yeah.
And then you got finishing 5th.
Chelsea.
Okay. So you got Newcastle missing out.
Yeah, I got Newcastle missing out.
Crazy.
I got Newcastle missing out. I still think Liverpool will make it. I know they'll get it together. They've still got McAllister. They've got what's the other boy?
Yeah, but they all got to settle in though.
Yeah,
bro.
like McAllister's playing in the Premier League. I saw McAllister. He balled.
I know.
The moments I saw on Sunday, he was balling.
McAllister's
and then
a baller,
that what we were talking about United, about the extra pass, like player making that extra pass before that final pass. That's what McAllister will offer Liverpool.
But
I think their biggest issue is that
they're gonna concede this year.
Yeah, I know. Like,
and you know what they're gonna obviously him moving Trent inside, which is perfect for Trent as a player.
Yeah.
It's perfect for him to play that because he's got all the attributes. But getting in behind them, the game on Sunday when the Chelsea, bruv, the joy that they had down that side. Obviously, Konate is quick and can cover the ground.
Yeah.
But the joy they had down that side, if they got a team that can finish and transition, they're gonna get beat, bro.
I know. Like
They're gonna get beat.
team, pretty much.
Yeah.
I just think they're gonna be like I
haven't got them finishing ahead of United though. I don't think Liverpool have a better season than United.
I don't know. It might be between that.
Because
I'm not too sure.
Because what your point is that what you feel like you've done near enough to maintain what the signings you've done, yeah. So that would mean finishing third again, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
whatnot.
I said between Liverpool and United,
Yeah.
it can go either way.
And
I
I
honestly don't know.
I don't think Newcastle is
Yeah,
not having a worse season than both of you.
Yeah,
lot.
that's what we're gonna have to wait and
Yeah,
see.
I can't see
I think
Newcastle
with-
because of how well they done last year and what they've added this year. Plus, they ain't lost nobody. No one's left their team.
Yeah.
The only thing that we could say, okay, they got Champions League football.
Yeah.
So how
Which
would
will
they?
be the
But then
big
that's the same
change.
for us. If you're saying Arsenal going to win the league, we're going back into the Champions League. How are we going to manage the Champions League?
Well, you got the
And
squad.
trying
going from
to win
They're
the
going,
league.
they're going from
They're going
nothing. You
from
got the
nothing.
squad. Yeah.
But then a lot of my players who Partey.
You- Partey's played in.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to
All these
say-
players. Julian, from nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, it's a totally
They're
different
But then it
ball
could be a
game.
whole element of surprise though.
They could be.
They could be.
But
You just never know.
It adds
That
to
season
their-
when Leicester won the league and they went Champions, they got to quarterfinals, isn't it? They got to quarterfinals.
Yeah, but that doesn't suffer their Champions League. They can still do one Champions League, and it will still affect their Premier League performance.
So you just never know.
Yeah.
And
But
I
I
said,
think them beefing out their squad. I think they'll be all
I
right.
considered it before. I thought they might struggle, but they've shown me another side.
no, as I said, I'm sticking with Liverpool. I've said I stuck with Liverpool before, like the saga of the weekend saga. I think they just need a defensive midfielder. I don't know where they're gonna find one now, but they have to get someone in. They're gonna be difficult to beat at Anfield. In Anfield, they're not guaranteed. They're probably gonna win probably 80 to 90% of their game at Anfield this season, and they just need to go away and grab results. And I think they can do that. I don't think Newcastle's gonna be far off. I don't think they're gonna fall off. And be like eighth, whatever.
So you think they'll finish like sixth or something?
Yeah, they'll still be close, but I just still think that Liverpool will edge it. The pressure with Klopp, the experience that they have, they showed it last season. They started off bad. They was very close to still making top four
100%.
despite, how bad they started.
I'm just
I just can't rule Chelsea out for anything. Chelsea just got talent, and I just don't want to rule Chelsea out for nothing. And I like their manager.
Chelsea got to piece their team together though.
So if you ask me to pick, these are the guys that I'm going to back, the manager and that team. I'm not saying Newcastle's a bad team, but I'll rather back those two managers and that
Newcastle on the
team
rise.
ahead of.
Newcastle on the rise,
Yeah.
and we give them another couple of seasons. I'm gonna be on this podcast. I'm gonna say Newcastle gonna win the league.
Yeah.
If we're still here in 2-3 years, that's how their trajectory is going for me. Like I think they're gonna be a problem this year, 100%.
Cool. And in terms of like Europa League, who do you think falls in?
Yeah, I already said that. I got Liverpool.
You got Liverpool.
Yeah.
Does that mean there's only one place for Europa
That's what
League?
I'm saying. I don't know.
No, I don't know how.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works with the
Okay.
coefficiency and stuff. But I've just got Liverpool finishing 6th.
Yes, I've got Newcastle. You got
Yeah.
you've got Liverpool.
Um,
You think someone else will finish
Aston
ahead of
Villa,
that?
Brighton.
yeah, I'll give Liverpool at the moment, but just barely.
I give him Liverpool by name.
I'm saying, yeah, that's basically what I'm there.
All right, cool. In terms of like relegation, I'll just go first. I've got Luton and Sheffield United going down.
Luton, Sheffield United stamped, rubber stamped.
Those two.
We be saying that a lot though on this podcast.
Yeah, no,
But you
no,
never
no.
know.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm not a witch in it. It's a prediction. I'm not a witch.
You never
But
know.
Luton, Sheffield United.
I'll be honest with you. Those are my two from like the get.
Yeah, but so who's the third one then?
The
'Cause
third
we
one is
can't
what.
sit on the
The
fence.
third.
Who's the
I'm
third
gonna
one?
pick one. The third one
Yeah.
is where I find it difficult. I'll be honest. Before I saw that first game of the season, I was putting Wolves there.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, well,
Yeah.
Gary O'Neill showed me that.
I didn't know Gary Neville was their manager when I put.
No,
them
I
there.
knew. He
'Cause
showed
I remember I gave him man of the year at Bournemouth last year.
because even though they're still putting him in place,
There's still drama. Like
I
the
still,
club is in.
I still think there's still drama
Yeah,
there.
he's a good enough manager.
So
to
it's
get them
like, can he
17th,
can he
yeah,
sustain
he's a
it?
good enough manager to get them 17th.
Yeah, but then when
Yeah,
they start,
he
when
could
they
be
start
good
getting
enough.
injuries though, when you start getting injuries, they're not bringing anyone in.
Leicester were good enough last
That's
season. And
the
they went
issue.
down.
Fair enough.
That's
So you
the
got
issue.
Wolves going down or not?
No,
I'll stick to Wolves because I had them before.
I'm picking Everton unless they get a
Same,
striker. I'm
see,
picking
see,
Everton.
same as me.
Yeah,
I got
I'll
everyone
stick
going
to Wolves because
unless they
like
get
they
a
did
striker.
well. Like I'll be honest, Wolves
Yeah.
did well. That like I'm not gonna pick them because if it was because of that first game, I don't think they'll go down. But then I look at it because I had them before.
Yeah, no. Now that I know
They are gonna get injuries, and they're not even bringing anyone in at the moment.
Yeah.
So what does he do when they start getting injuries? When
play,
that first
play the youth
11,
players, play the young
The
players.
football
Yeah.
they played for me was sufficient for
Yeah.
me to.
Yeah, they're staying. Like Everton, on the other hand, I have them going. It's about
Everton
time.
played all right, but unless they get a striker, you're not staying up without goals.
Yeah.
and that's the same thing with Wolves. Wolves
It's
can't.
about time.
They're finding it hard to
Everton's
go.
one, yeah, they can't keep playing with fire.
Yeah.
They can't. They gotta go down
Nah,
sooner or
that's
later.
true. Yeah, no, I get that.
They gotta go down.
I'll
sooner.
just stick
For
with-
me, it's either them or Bournemouth. I don't know the new Bournemouth manager, so I can't give him any grace and say he's gonna keep them up.
Yeah.
I don't know who Iraola is.
Yeah.
So it's for me, it's out of Everton and Bournemouth, but I'm gonna go with Everton. I don't think Burnley go down because I'm never gonna tell the black man that he's gonna get relegated. Big up Vincent Company.
All right, cool. Are we doing two? We're gonna do player to watch out for and team to watch out for. Are we gonna do that, or we're just gonna do straight player to watch out for?
Yeah, I just got player to watch out for. I haven't got team.
All right, what's your
My
player?
team. If I said team, I was gonna say Newcastle.
Yeah.
Player? Who's your player then?
Mine's Hoyland, you guys striker, just because of the fact that I can't say I've seen him play much. Obviously, I watch all the highlights and whatnot, but I've seen him score a couple. But like I said, 9 in 32. But the 9 in 32 is he didn't have 32 starts.
Oh no,
exactly. So I think it's like 23 starts or
There was
something.
like a short period.
Yeah,
where he
yeah.
had back-to-back
But mine is
starts.
the reason. The note I put there is, can he be the striker that United have been looking for? So and I'm dating it back to when United bought Martial and gave him number 9. It was just like, and he scored against Liverpool on his debut. It was like, we're ahead of the curve. We bought a young player that could be the next big thing, Ballon d'Or and whatnot. Didn't materialize. So I'm just hoping it's.
What
and
do
the
you mean
thing
didn't materialize?
Didn't
There's still
materialize.
time.
Didn't materialize. So me looking at Hoyland is just like, he can either go that way, Martial way, or he can either go and be like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. We went in there before everyone else did, and he's paying us back with 20 to 25 league goals. This 20 goals this year, 25 next year, and we're getting closer to the league. And next season we might even win the league because he plays with us, and Rashford's still chipping in 20 and whatnot. So that's why I'm watching him, just to see what he can become at United.
Cool. I'm going with like Onana, but just based on everything that we discussed earlier, all I know from him is just he's good with his feet. Everything else I need to watch
And he needs to
closely.
be good with his hands.
Yeah. Everything else I need to watch closely. His temperament, his handling of the
Yeah.
ball, everything. He I just need to keep a close eye on his keeper just to see what nonsense he's gonna do or whether he's gonna what brilliance he's gonna provide to the squad. So we just have to wait and see. That's who I've got.
He's definitely one to watch because if it goes well, he can literally revamp the way you guys play football.
Yeah.
Like you see him at Ajax and you see him at Inter and how he plays. And you see Pep say before the Champions League final, man had to make sure that we watch videos and train because he's an 11th player. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he can literally find passes anywhere on the pitch. So if it works, he can literally revamp the way you guys play. Or revolutionize the way you guys play, shall I say.
Yeah, no, my players had to change because of injury, but the one player is Eze. I want to see how that change in the dynamic of the Crystal Palace team works for him. Obviously, Zaha's gone now, so
Olise,
Olise is potentially going. So that leaves Eze. Like, literally now he is the talisman.
Yeah, he was the main man. Yeah.
He's the main man. But I want to see him be a main man, not in the way Zaha was a main man, but was still all about him. I want Eze to carry the rest of this team along with him. So I want to see how he takes that role because obviously he is the talisman now. It's not even a question.
He's the best player, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's about seeing how he goes forward with that
I was gonna pick Jacob Ramsey, but because of injury,
injury.
I'm not too sure when he will come back.
Yeah. Top talent though.
Talent, so
Big respect for the boy.
yeah,
Big respect for the
and I
boy.
wanted to, and I need like Archer to like either leave or them to give him games because I want to see what he's gonna be like in the Premier League.
Difficult for him to
Hopefully-
get games now.
Hopefully
innit?
he goes to Luton because Luton are interested, but it's
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
Villa are willing to let him go because they've only got
Watkins.
Watkins.
Yeah,
so,
Watkins, DRB.
no,
Matt
but Watkins
Bailey
is the only one that really
potentially-
play in the middle. So
they the other day he played 4-4-2. He played DRB really close to Watkins.
Yeah, but ultimately he'll still be a support.
Yeah. So I want him to get games, but or if they can get someone else in, so he can go to Luton, because Luton's from the other day. It looks like they need someone that can get goals. And hopefully he can do that. So it'll be interesting. Those are like the three players that popped in mind for me anyway. United's Onana and those two guys.
Yeah. Mine's just obviously I'm a midfielder. I love midfielders, but the only other one would be another striker, which would be Ferguson at Brighton, because he's gonna be the next 100 million.
Yeah,
he the next 100 million.
That's
Brighton, you see the Brighton CEO, yeah, he's already got the price there. And I tweeted the other day, if he gets anything close to 10 to 15 league goals, then he's gonna cost 150M. That's how much. So each goal this year in the Prem is 10 million. So he's already worth 10 million. But if he gets anything close to double figures, someone like, so let's just say, and we'll end it with, let's just say Højlund doesn't work out, this season. He stinks the place out, And Brighton say, if you want Ferguson, it's 150.
We ain't got no more money. We should have bought him in the first place. We ain't got no more money.
Would you do it? Would you want United to do it?
Bruh, yeah. If they've got the money,
yeah. Because he's going to be the next one, isn't it? He's going to be the next one.
Yeah, that definitely. I like Ferguson because that's why I put him in my fantasy. Me and I think we were talking about it, but we just weren't sure whether he was going to play him or not.
Ultimately, you might be a star, but certain managers just know how to ease players in to teams.
Yeah, which is good for his development. But yeah, so what's that? Onana, Højlund, Eze. That's what we're watching out for. And we've got Luton, Sheffield United definitely going down. Rubber stamped. Going down.
Even the Luton fans have Luton going down, so no problem.
But enjoy the season, Luton fans. Enjoy it. Go to all the away games. Take pictures with the Arsene Wenger statue at Emirates that just got put out for the great man. Go to Old Trafford. Piss at their stadium shit, so there's not really much to do there. But enjoy the season, man, to Luton fans. Enjoy it.
Deserve it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks, people. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week as normal. Please make sure you subscribe, comment, like,
get involved, man.
And just share with like everyone, like your friends, your enemies, as this guy said, and even your boss at work. And let's see where we get the season.
We've all got Arsenal winning the league. Come back here in May. See if we're right.
Peace. We out.
Peace.